Hello nerds and welcome back to the podcast. Today we are going to be Nerdy4 Telltale Games and the company in general. So, just a weird warning, we're going to be doing spoilers here. We're going to be talking about the stories of these games and the company. So, spoilers! Spoilers! Okay, so me, myself and I am Curtis, the host of this show. We have our co-host here as usual.
I'm Lewis.
He's a Lewis. And we have...
I'm Alex.
And today we have a new challenger!
New challenger!
So, can you introduce yourself?
I'm Dave. I think, what do I say about myself? So, I like nerdy
I'm
stuff.
Dave!
I like nerdy stuff like you lot, but I think I give more of the general public feel to
General nerd.
things. Yeah.
So, we are very nerdy about things, but he's got to give the general feel of...
Yeah.
He's the most normal and basic.
Yeah, he's the normal
He's
guy.
actually got a
You're
life.
weird. Yeah.
So, yeah, Telltale Games. So, how much do we know about the company itself?
Yeah, I know for a fact that it was founded like nearly a decade ago, roughly around 2004 in June, and I knew it was based in California, and it was done by ex-LucasArts people, the people who made the best Star Wars Battlefront
cool,
game.
yeah.
Damn straight.
Yeah,
That's
the
Star
Star Wars Battle 2 and PS2. I think, and I think the founders were Dan Connors, Ken Bruner, and Terry Morlander, the people who left before the Star Wars Battlefront 2 game came out.
Those are dark ages.
Yeah, the Dark
And
Ages. So.
who know, in 10 years, they've become part of one of the biggest gaming companies to speak.
Take that, Lucas.
Anything else we know about the company? So, they worked for Lucasfilm and they moved away.
Well, I know they're mainly known for the development of the episodic games they're known for, so I think that's like a big thing they've branched off into their own field and made it themselves.
That's good, yeah, because they are pretty known for their...
It's like everyone knows Walking Dead now in the video game world as well.
Yeah.
I think that's probably the biggest example we're going to give
Such a
today.
cultural milestone in gaming.
Dave, do you know much about the company itself?
Other than the stuff you've been saying, I mean, some of the things are a bit eye-opening. That things like Day of the Tentacle and things like that are made by the same company. But other than actually playing the games, not so much.
Not so much.
General.
So, just a little information. The company was most known for having a deal with NBC Universal, which they produced 2 game series based on Back to the Future, which is a big franchise, and Jurassic Park, yet again, another big franchise, and this was back in 2010. So it was a little while ago, which ain't too bad, and they actually, in a yearly review, they actually got 10 million out of this, and the company went up by 90%, which I would say that's the pinpoint of when they got noticed as Telltale Games.
Well, they did notice in such a business front, but I remember reading critical reviews of Jurassic Park and Back to the Future being how terrible it was. It was critically panned. Didn't you play it, Dave?
Yeah. So I have recently played the Back to the Future one. I got it for cheap on the old Steam. Downloaded it. And,
Steam sells.
Yeah, that's right. And I'm a fan of Back to the Future. I'm a fan of, again, Walking Dead and some of the more modern versions of the games. And that game I didn't enjoy, but it was weird. It's like a in-between between like Walking Dead, the way it is now, where it's all narrative and story-based games, and then sort of Day of the Tentacle, where you're clicking around the screen trying to find objects and things like that. And for me, it just didn't work because I like the narrative, and I did like, like I say, I did like the old Day of the Tentacle games, but this just didn't work. And even with Back to the Future, they kind of
Such a beloved franchise.
they ruined
Classic,
the story. They ruined the actual rules of the system. I'm not going to say what they do, but.
You can say it.
It's
You
alright,
say
we have
spoilers,
We've said
alert.
spoilers.
So we already said it, but spoiler alerts
Right,
again.
3, 2, 1, spoilers.
There's multiple Martys in the same timeline.
Oh.
Didn't even know.
Are we talking the family? Because there was like the son where you went, no, okay. I'm going to be quiet now.
It just they break their own rules with like paradoxes and things, and so if you're a fan of the films, that's now sort of they've messed with that. And like I say, the game, I didn't find it fun. I played it to waste some time. Didn't take very long, and that was that.
You
Like I say, their other stuff is great. So.
Yeah, because I think one of the best things about them, because the main games we've, I guess, all played are the franchise games that we've already know. We know what Jurassic Park is. We know what Back to the Future is.
Yeah, there's
So I think mainly we probably have played these games because, oh wow, Back to the Future, the video game. I'm all over that. But then, like you said, then they need to know what they're doing with that franchise. Whereas, like you said, that ruined the rules.
The way I see most games is playability must be the your top priority. I mean, if it isn't fun, then
Why should you
why are
continue?
playing it? I mean, the graphics can be great, and in these story-based games, story can be good, but it needs to be fun if it's a game.
I would say, well, that game was brought back in 2010, so I guess that was the starting point of their thing, so there would be a load of mistakes. Like you say, you played it recently, but I guess back then it was a bigger thing, I guess. That's why it sold so much, and the company did get a lot of money, because beforehand they'd done a lot of games, and they did mess around with a franchise before, which was, what was it?
Jurassic Park.
Jurassic Park. They played with the characters, which is the Sam and Max games, which we don't know much. It's a detective thing, which we don't know much about, but Dave might have noticed it because it's older games.
Oh yeah, I mean, like I say, the old retro type games. Yeah, I didn't play Sam and Max. I did try to actually. I do remember trying to play it, and I never got around to actually doing it.
I remember Sam and Max being sort of like, or when I saw it advertised when I was younger, but I was like to my parents, "Oh, I won't play these games," and they're like, "No, no,
Well, that's
not another one."
That's when we were playing
grounded
Pokemon
boy.
too much. We were playing Pokemon so
knew-
much then.
I knew for a fact they were referencing like Who Framed Roger Rabbit, sort of the like period piece, like detective of the 40s, and sort of the idea of putting like animalistic characters, and with that, but that's all I really know about Sam and Max, unfortunately.
So yeah, we're gonna go back. So another game they're mostly known for in 2012 was The Walking Dead, which
Brilliant.
which
game.
sold 1 million copies in 20 days.
Oh my
But
god.
What's that?
I can believe it though. That's the thing.
That's the thing. I could believe it.
It's the pinnacle when Walking Dead became such a cultural mainstream thing.
I agree, but I also think it's down to how they actually release the game, because unlike most games, right where you buy the entire game as like a very expensive sum of money,
70 usually.
Yeah, usually like £70 or £40 at least. This was not only cheap, but I'm pretty sure The Walking Dead, when it came out, they gave you episode 1 for free.
Yeah.
And so
Just like good drug dealers.
yeah,
Here's a gram.
Yeah, so
Hey baby, just try this episode 1. Yeah,
I love it. Now I'm hooked. Tell me more. Yeah.
It's like, when's episode 4 coming out? I got to find out what
So
happens
yeah,
to Lee.
The Walking Dead itself was based on 5 episodes as in the first
So
game.
Each series seems to contain 5.
So the first one was free, which I can understand it could attract a lot of attention when a game is free, especially if it's such a big iconic The Walking Dead when it was out at the time.
Oh yeah.
So that was back in 2012. So I want to ask you a question, guys. So in general now, which games do you, for Telltale Games, which games in general do you know they have produced? So from mind, what games do you remember that they actually produced? So Dave.
Wolf Among Us. Oh, sorry, Dave.
Yeah. Okay. So obviously Walking Dead. Then in order, pretty much how I'm playing them. Wolf Among Us.
Yeah.
Yep.
Season 2.
Well, yeah, there was season 1 and 2 of Walking Dead, plus the 400 days. And I haven't played the Michonne one, but I know that's kind of...
That's out there somewhere.
Yeah. Anyone else?
Yeah, the also done Game of Thrones.
Yeah, Game of Thrones.
Tales from the Borderlands. That was
Yeah,
another
yeah.
one.
That one's a good one, yeah.
They also did Minecraft. I've not touched it though because
No.
I'm not a Minecraft
Well,
kid.
that's supposed to work.
I
but,
know,
you
it's trying to make it, because Minecraft's so blocky that it's trying to make it humanized, and it's like, I'm not sure how they do that.
It's
Well, can you make your own like world in that game then? Or is
no,
it making?
no, it's a fixed
No,
story.
it's a fixed story, just like their Telltale Games. So,
Yeah.
any you know of, Alex, that the Telltale Games has made?
You're just like the Game of Thrones and all that stuff, which was interestingly enough had 6 episodes, because we were talking about how that. And what I liked about that is it gave them more of a chance to expand the story, because I felt like with certain, like, I personally felt that like this with season 2 Walking Dead, that I wish there was just another episode just to flesh it out a bit more.
With that,
Yeah.
because I haven't played the Game of Thrones one, because I haven't watched Game of Thrones, so I'm not into that. But just episode length-wise, would you say it's the same length as the Walking Dead ones, or are they longer or shorter?
Yeah, I would say it was roughly the same, like episode 1. Each episode, depending how well you like scum it, like go around, find clue, average around like 2 hours. Would that be a fair guess?
I think in some of the games I've played, especially like episode 1,
Yeah.
Well, after knowing, like, say, the formula of the game, of like, right, the more I look, the more I probably can find and change up my outcomes. I can probably spend on that 3 hours in like the first episode alone.
Yeah.
Just because I'm looking for like every little crook and cranny.
It's like the difference between when you first get the next episode that's just come out. And I remember when it did come out, it'd be like, oh, it's coming out tomorrow. And I would actually say, right, I'm not doing anything that evening because it'll come out, download it, play it, and it'd be done by the end of the evening. But then probably the next evening, I'd play it again just to see what happens if I go down the other routes.
But that's a very interesting point you made, Dave, because personally, with all these Telltale decision-making games, I only play it once. Even though they're...
Casual player. Casual player.
No! My reasonings behind this is like, the decisions I make, I'm like, I have to stick with them. As much as I love choices...
Yeah.
But
I had 2 save games. The serious one, that's my character. And then the other one was just like, woo, I'm insane! I'm gonna kill this person!
Yeah, because one side you've got to be serious. I do like the option of 2, because one side you've got to be serious and think, oh, I need to save everyone, I need to be the best, I need to talk to everyone seriously. Then the other question is like, oh, I don't care, whatever. One, I hate you.
I was gonna say same with what you've done. My Walking Dead season 1, I played on the PS3. Did that, you introduced me to episode 1, which thank you very much. And that's like 80 quid gone. and no, so obviously I played it myself on my PS3, done it all and everything, did my own choices, regretted some of them, and completed the game. I was amazed by it, and then I didn't do kind of like Alex on my Walking Dead season 1. I played it once, that was it, until 400 Days came out, and then obviously the other series came out for all the others. But on my Vita, which I recently got seasons 1 and 2, still haven't played 2 yet though, that's the only thing. I've redone obviously the whole season 1 again, just to get back into the flow, make my own choices again. This time though, I've tried to do as possible the best things I can do for the outcome. To go, right, I need to be brilliant, I need to have everyone saved, but it's so hard.
There was this thing in like season 1, I think it's when you get to the end of episode 4, I believe it is, and it shows you, oh, just so you know, this is what you did and everything, except the 50%.
Yeah, it says 90 people
which I
did
do
that.
like a lot, yeah.
That's cool.
That's
Give a bit of
brilliant.
social aspect to everything.
Yeah.
But then, I swear, that one episode, at the end of it, it was like, just so you know, shows you silhouettes and says, you could have outcomes, these different variations of all the characters, and there's something like 10 different versions. And no matter how many times I've played it or seen it been played, I have never been able to get every single person. Apparently it's there.
Yeah, I remember playing that, and I was like, Kenny was my boy.
Oh yeah.
I was like,
besties for life.
I was agreeing with Kenny every step way. I was like, I was gonna. Hey, you don't need to kill your son. I'll do it. I'm more happy to do it.
Alex, you seem a bit easy on that choice.
We all know how irritating that kid
Keep your
was.
kids away from Alex.
But it was all... And then I realised he hated me because he's like, oh, you should have saved my son in episode 1. So that quick decision when you're getting used to the game, he's like, oh, do I save the kid? Oh, they're never going to try and kill the kid. And it's like...
Surprise.
Surprise. And then I'm realising, oh, so that one choice I made 3 episodes ago affects, like, I need you. Why are you leaving me? Oh.
No, again, with what you said about the silhouettes of, hey, you can have these 5, these 10 teams, well, possibilities or whatever it would have been. That was my happy point in my Vita run. I had everyone remain with me. But, like, again, because in my PS3 one, I was missing the teenager, because he died. I let go of him. I didn't like him. But in the Vita one, I went, no, I want to see if I can. And admittedly, it was one of the hardest things to do, because you had to make everyone happy. Interestingly enough, though, because I saved the teenager, and obviously Ben, that's his name, thanks. And obviously at that point, Kenny hates him, because he's the reason why, obviously, spoilers, his family dies. And but interestingly enough, I think to keep Kenny in my team, I had to kind of make an opposite choice, because normally I would have just gone, oh yeah, but I got to do it for Clem, man. Clem's my daughter and all this, or she's not, but... And then he actually turned me down on that. So when I got on my Vita again, I was like, no, I want Kenny on my team. I think it was something like, yeah, don't worry about it. We don't need you. Then Kenny went, no, I know. I want to be part of the team. I was like, well, all right then.
You just say, you don't go full Kenny.
Yeah.
It's just being you'd be like, hey baby, she's like, I don't want you. And it's sort of that negging attitude. It's like, oh, you're cute, but not really. Yeah. It's like, wait a second.
Say hard to get.
So, just to talk in general, myself, I haven't played many of the games. I only played one, which was Borderlands for a little bit. But I have watched a lot of YouTubers, which, yeah, again, that feels like you're playing the game when you're watching a lot of YouTubers. So, what games have you actually played? So, Lewis, which ones of the actual Telltale games you played, actually?
Well, all of them, or just...
Just which ones you've played?
Well, I've played the season 1 of Walking Dead and 400 Days.
Yeah.
Wolf Among Us, Game of Thrones Season 1, and I've only kind of dabbled with Tales from the Borderlands. I think I've only done one episode.
Alex, what have you played of Telltale Games? Which ones?
I played Season 1, 400 Days, Season 2, and I've also played Tales from the Borderlands, Game of Thrones, A Wolf Among Us. The two that I haven't done is Minecraft Story Mode and The Walking Dead Michonne.
Dave, which ones have you actually played of the Telltale Games?
Is it all of them, not just...
Just which ones you played?
Even like, Day of the Tentacle, if we're going back that far.
Ooh.
Are we going back that far?
Yeah, going back far.
Go full nerd. Go full
full
nerd.
He's full nerd.
I'm sure they got some other ones which I might have played back then, but I can't remember them. But yeah, so I played all the Walking Dead other than the Michonne one.
No one's lacking a bit, so...
Which was interesting because I was all ready to play it and I never did. And
It's only 3 episodes I was interested by.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. Anyway, so was it Wolf Among Us? I played all that. And I haven't played the Borderlands ones, but I have seen it all the way through because I watched a YouTuber.
Jacksepticeye.
Yes, I watched him. And I loved it.
YouTube
so
nerds.
I wish I did.
Top of the road here!
Yeah.
Any others you've played?
I don't think so, is it? No, I don't think so. I think that's all.
So yeah, I'm lacking here, guys. Sorry.
Only played Walking Dead. Episode 1 for free.
Yeah. That is me, okay? So you guys have mainly played the games, and I'm just lacking here, so I'm outside the box a little bit here. If you had to pick a game yourself, just to generally talk about today, so each one of you will pick a game, and we'll generally talk about that today, just to make it topic-wise, and afterwards we'll mention anything else afterwards. So we'll start with Alex. What game would you say is the one you love the most, and we'll generally talk about that one?
My one is my favourite is Tales from the Borderlands.
Tales from the Borderlands, that's a good one.
Because I played with these 3 nerds like online on Borderlands, and like there was a reckless driver.
Yeah.
Who could that be?
And there was a newbie which we just bullied and over.
Dave played the game. Dave played Borderlands 2. Dave played Borderlands 2. Why have you got
Why
it?
so far behind? We just killed everything for you.
So, clarification, yeah, these 3 all got Borderlands, then I was a late bloomer to it, and by then I was just like, just picking up all the bits and pieces, and they were running off ahead.
Oh, we just killed the boss.
You ruined that game.
There's us killing every like high level boss, every badass, and then Dave follows going, ooh, bit of loot. Ooh, bit of loot. Ooh, bit of loot.
That just reminds me of that Adventure Time of what was it? The Adventure Time of Jake and where he just goes ahead killing everyone, and Jake's just going, oh, loot. That was Dave. So
yeah.
Tales of the Borderlands, yeah.
Yes. So, as someone who's played the first 2 games, and I'll eventually get to the pre-sequel, now that's been remastered, here's hoping for PSN Plus, getting that game for free. It's been out, and after Battleborn, not so good success. They're probably looking for some money, 2K. So they're probably going that. The reason why I loved Tales from the Borderlands so much is its writing, and it's the idea of the dialogue, and it's the idea. I personally believe drama, there's scenarios that make everyone can feel, but I would argue that comedy is a lot more subjective. And to actually try and do a funny video game, and so work, and like have people, I was like laughing hysterically at a few of the jokes and the references.
I haven't played it myself, but I agree. Just watching someone play it was enough.
Yeah, Jacksepticeye again.
So funny. Yeah, it was so funny though.
Yeah.
It was funny. I like the characters and everything about. Yeah, it's Borderlands universe, so we're familiar with Borderlands, so we know what things are in Hyperion and things like that.
But you say that, I mean, like I say, I played a tiny bit of the old Borderlands game, and I didn't really know much.
Sorry, Dave.
And I knew like the big corporation and like Jack. Yeah. His name was
Handsome Jack.
Handsome Jack.
And,
Hello, kitties.
It's just, you don't need to know all that to jump into it, because I still say if I was going to play one, it would be that one. I haven't played yet, obviously.
It's one on your list to play, but yeah, I watching Jacksepticeye play and other YouTubers play it. I do like the characters and individuality. Borderlands is good for creating some characters. I do like that. So Tales of Borderlands was actually really good.
My only con with it, because like I said, I've only really played the episode 1.
Yeah.
And like you said, the writing is amazing. I love it. I love the visuals, love the characters they introduce you to. But this is like the thing with a lot of the other games where I guess they are a bit more serious, in all fairness. The choices that they gave me obviously are mainly all jokes. Yeah. Which, each one, hits you hard because it's like, oh, that's funny, that's hilarious. But then I didn't feel too concerned with what I was deciding. That was my only downfall so far.
To counter that, yes, I owe you an episode 1 because you're getting used to it, they're playing jokes. But I think with doing comedy, with you making jokes with these characters and you get used to it, you feel like, I think there could be a connection there, unlike with drama stuff, because you might feel like a god in Walking Dead. It's like, who should I kill tonight? It's like,
everybody.
And
I ain't gonna die.
But yes, and with going on to like when episode 3 and 4, when you've done all the jokes, it's when you're consistently jokes, and then when it's serious, and you're like, oh god, I wasn't expecting this type thing, and it hit. I would argue it can hit when it's a bit more unexpected. But when it's Walking Dead, it's like, this life-changing decision number 1, this life-changing number 2. And doing that consistently for 10 hours, you're like, oh, just kill me already. But when you're making jokes and you're like, oh no, you might die. When you get attached to a robot and you're like, oh no, I'm a huge asshole to a robot. I would argue, yes.
No, that's fair enough.
And
but that was just my one little thing.
Plus, as a Power Rangers fan, when you got to the later episodes in episode
I remember
5,
you mentioned this to me, and I really need to catch up now.
And I think, even if you may not like the joke, you will love that sequence.
Yes, I was laughing at that, and I'm not even a Power Rangers fan.
Neither am I.
Reference, yeah.
So one thing I'll say I liked about the Borderlands thing was the interaction, because it's a story base where you have to say what you say, but I think in that game generally you have to interact with the environment a lot more, and hacking things and shooting with a robot and telling the robot what to shoot.
That was pretty cool, actually.
So that's a bit more in depth, and I guess they tested out a few more mechanics with the story based telling. Yeah. So as much as it was telling the story and how much comedy there was, and the robots are absolutely hilarious, I do think they did involve, okay, now you have to shoot. When you're having a Power Ranger scene, I know you had to do the actual actions yourself, which means you had more interaction with it instead of walking, clicking.
Yes.
So I guess it's more of a
flavor
game. Yeah.
So I'm guessing, Curtis, you may not have seen some of the further episodes of Walking Dead, or have you played all the Walking Dead ones?
Oh, I've seen both season 1 and 2.
Okay, because there was obviously some shooting bits in that. Like you said, I do agree they do use the background a lot more. They seem to be recycling a lot of their game mechanics because they work.
Yeah.
It works well. I just think in Borderlands they tested it a lot more.
Yeah.
Because I know in Walking Dead they did a little bit of you can shoot things and you're shooting the zombies and killing them.
From season 1 to season 2 of Walking Dead, they changed up some of the control mechanics, for especially for action scenes.
Yeah, it's going on what Kurt said. When you're playing the game, just like in Borderlands, there's elemental types. You got your fire, you got your lightning, and you got all that stuff. So it's like, oh no, you have one bullet, and you got a different type of bullet you want to use. Yeah. So it's like, oh, he might be immune to electricity or something. So I'm going to use fire. I'm going to burn his face and make him into half dead. Or acid. That would probably work better. But hey, that's what I liked about the sort of elements of you could change and. It becomes more than just a click base and just shooting. You could shoot in a different way.
So, because that's your choice, Alex, for your game you want to talk about, what would you say is the pros and cons about that game in general?
Okay. The main problem, like I said, was right, is the comedy, and I think nowadays it's a lot easier to do drama and like your Last of Us's and all this stuff when it's emotionally heavy, but to have a game that's so critically like well received and like a lot of people argue that even people may complain about like the gameplay and all that stuff, to have a funny game is such a dying thing in these days, and I value it so much. And the con, like I said, was unfortunately due to the engine that was currently used. There was a lot of times where I had technical issues. Like, for example, I'm talking to someone and their mouths are not opening.
Oh,
So the dialogue line is opening and the gameplay is out of sync. And there's stuff when you're on the loading screen, you're like, okay, we're going to a new area. And dialogue's happening. Oh no.
Yeah.
So, unfortunately, out of all the Telltale games that I've played, my favourite is the one that I had the most technical issues with. And if it was like dark and depressing, like, oh, he's dead again, and I would, I'd be more like, I'm just gonna take a break, but I'm like, I just want to laugh and just
Just a quick little thing, because you said the engine it ran on. Was it a PS3 game or was it PS4 only? Or next generation, I guess.
fair enough. I only played it on the PS4, so
Okay, so
even with the updated stuff, because I know for a fact that Wolf Among Us Season 2 got upgraded. So this is more of the recent ones.
Okay.
But
So even though it's on a better engine, it still had problems.
yes,
which,
I've heard even up to
Yeah.
modern day stuff like with Game of Thrones, and Telltale's Minecraft story mode, they're still having technical issues.
Yeah, I've had the same thing. I've been playing. I think all of them have had it, but I think the worst ones were obviously the earlier games, where the glitches in Walking Dead, like the camera would be inside a wall or something for no reason whatsoever.
Great camera action.
Try playing that
or
on a
like,
Vita.
Or like while the characters are missing, and you can still hear them, and that happened every now and then, but it was early days, so we'll let them off.
And to finally sum up Tales from the Borderlands, all I got to say to you guys is, bro.
Okay, so that's your game. So, we'll pass over to Dave. Dave, in general, of all the Telltale games, which one would you pick as your favourite to play as?
Probably the one I played the most, which is Walking Dead.
Walking Dead. Should we say which season is?
I'd say season. It's difficult to say that because it's 1 and 2. It's one story.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, but you play as different characters in each season.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I would say
We'll do.
season 1.
We'll do about the Walking Dead in general, season 1 and 2.
Yeah.
We'll go for it.
So what you said before, Alex, or maybe Lewis, about the consequences of your actions. The reason I would say Walking Dead is my favourite is because not only is it a franchise of something I can watch on TV and I love anyway.
Yeah, I watched the series.
Yeah,
I'm up to date.
I'm the only one who doesn't watch the show, and I was still interested in season 1.
Get the hell
Yeah.
out.
Get out.
Oh, am I the normal basic one, Dave?
That's wrong.
I just, Team Vampire for life.
Oh my god.
One of us. Walking Dead. Walker.
Oh my god.
So anyway, Walking Dead. I just like the consequences. Like they give you these options, and it's literally kind of what you said before, which is this really bad option or this even worse option. So you just well, I'll take the slightly not so bad option, and then everyone goes, "Oh, you are such a dick." just like well, I didn't have any other option.
But Dave,
but
this is what you're like in life.
Just the end result is that it hits hard when you have to choose something and it's you doing it, your consequences.
Yeah.
And then when you do play it from one side or the other, choose A or B, and then you see the actual result of that on 2 different storylines, and you realise, oh, actually, my results didn't actually change the story that much. Just the character died, but this time it was a different character, but the story's in the same place. It wasn't until the end of season 2 that you really see the action, the consequence of your actions. But that's probably just because of season 2. Maybe they got some feedback from other people about what they should do.
I wanted to go on about the consequences action. I remember playing season 1 on like the first 2 episodes, especially on the farm, when I'm like, oh my god, I'm like emotionally drained.
Yeah.
And the problem for me is when I got to season 2, I'm like, I'm so used to being emotionally drained by it. So for me, it lost a lot of the impact. I'm so used to for the worst. It's like, oh, here's medicine you need to steal off this person. I'm like, oh, fine. I've become so desensitized to it. And I'm interested to wonder about the idea of, with all, especially with like Game of Thrones, with other more of the dramatic ones, when you're like, I'm so used to like the worst, the most suppressing. I've become desensitized. And why?
You have to shock them, otherwise it ain't gonna.
It's like he killed 2 kids.
I remember playing, especially season 1 of Walking Dead. It's just like you're playing it, and the first episode you get through it, and you got a choice here and there, but serious consequences. And then the next episode, something different, but on the same sort of hard-hitting thing. And I think by episode 3. When you find out that the farmer guys who look after you, they're making you eat people, and one of your team is.
Is that episode 2?
I think that's 3. Yeah, because they get to the motel and then they go there. But it's just, oh god, just like you weren't ready for it. It's like Jesus.
Soylent Green is people.
Yeah.
I did like that because in that section you did have a choice of actually saying it to everyone.
Yeah.
Because you had 2 options. You could walk in a room and go, "You're eating people," or you can walk in and
Clem, maybe you should
Clem,
stop.
no, Clem, stop eating.
It's like dig in, everyone. By the way.
I would say that game in general could cost an arm sometimes.
Yeah, funnily enough.
Spoilers!
Spoilers!
Funnily enough, it doesn't, because again, one thing I loved about all the games really is the jumping in point, because you can literally spend £5 or in some cases for free just the first episode to see if it's your sort of thing, and then you either like it or maybe get hooked, and then you can buy the rest. And even if you did buy the rest, it's only £25 at most usually.
I think
what it is.
Probably now it is. But I remember when the first ones came out on like PS3. I think the season pass was like between £15 and £20.
No, it wasn't. Because it was. I remember it being on the Xbox, and I got it. And it was like I said, the first one was free, but then it was like each episode was like £5. I think it was. But the full season pass was like all that added up. Otherwise, it wouldn't make financial sense to somebody bought it.
True.
I may be wrong, but whatever it was cheaper than a normal.
Oh well,
game,
yeah, it's still cheaper.
Yeah.
And I still got hours and hours of fun out of them. I still rate them for just like the amount of.
Yeah, replaying the game with your multiple choices, not like Alex over here. I only play it once and then I just
one-time gamer.
Screw you guys, my choices are more impactful.
You're the kind of guy that plays Dark Souls for the story.
Wait a second, mister. Dark Souls has a fantastic story if you spend the time.
Exactly.
Oh god, you must have hated Destiny.
Hey, don't worry.
He did it for the multiplayer.
hey, in credit for Destiny, it only took 1 DLC. No, 2.
Yeah.
No, wait.
4 DLCs.
And no.
No.
4.
A complete like, hey, do you want to rebuy the game, but it's a sequel, but it's not a sequel at the same time? Yeah, here's the Taken King.
Yeah.
And it's one I bought, and I was like, this game's pretty good.
And then all the missions were open to you beginning. It was like, what order did I play them in?
Dialogue, the narrative was out the window by then.
Yeah.
But yeah, with the game in general, I do love the fact of your decision making in the game does have a massive impact on everything else. Like, if you choose this option, you can either get that person killed, because it's at the farm where you first go to, not the one where you got the killer family, where, oh, you have to fix that fence, or, oh, that kid's under a tractor. Which one are you going to save?
Every person I ever see play that, 80% then maybe, 80%, oh, we'll save the kid, because in society, that's what you do.
Yeah.
And straight away, it's like, you didn't even try to save him, you piece of shit.
It's like, what? I'm saving the kid. Leave me alone.
Unless you're Alex, of course.
But I just thought, they're never going to kill kids.
He's the 1 out of 4.
Yeah. And then Kenny just hated me for the rest of my time, even though I agreed with him. I helped him.
Stupid duck.
I agree with you, Kenny.
Quack.
Piss off.
Stupid duck. Quack. Quack, quack. But, that kid was annoying. You just have to forget that one.
Who
You're
names
such-
their kid Duck?
Yeah.
It's just
he
so-
was supposed to die.
You know,
it's
someone
just-
made up that character just to die.
Oh my god.
And plus, it's just when you're a kid, when you, unfortunately for him, he didn't have any friends, so he played duck, goose.
He's gonna duck forever.
Yeah, just around in circles. She just kept on patting his head, walking around in circles.
I have a question for you guys.
Yeah, what's that?
Basically, you're talking about duck. Okay, you know it didn't happen in the game. Who would you kill? Ben? Who was the most irritating character for me? Who would take out the axe from the door? Really? It's like, come on.
The
Or
most
is-
stupid thing there was, I'm pretty sure. You know, obviously I know all
Yeah.
the axes in the door handles,
Yeah.
and the zombies are on the other side of that glass.
Yeah.
How did he not see the zombies on the other side of that glass?
It's Mr. Magoo.
Oh, he doesn't care. Oh, I'm just
Yeah.
gonna move this axe,
Did
guys.
I forget to tell you guys I'm half blind?
So it's Ben or Duck.
I can't
Who would
do
you
a different
kill?
one. I can't do an impossible thing, which is between Ben and I forget her name, but it's the
Rock climber?
It's from season 2. It's the girl who's the same age as
I don't.
Yeah.
younger than
Clementine's friend.
Clementine,
Yeah,
whatever her name is.
yeah.
the glasses.
Yeah.
And she's a bit, she doesn't really know what's
Yeah,
happening.
Innocent.
Innocent is not
She-
the word. She's
Yeah,
not
just in
quite
her own
there.
little world.
But she's so annoying. And
She
you
is
have
annoying.
to be friends with her, and you're like, I don't want to be friends with her.
Why don't you go and play with her? Oh, okay. So what do
Okay,
you want to
Mom.
do?
Want to go kill zombies?
I was glad when they gave the option. Do you want to save her?
No. Why is it all the kids who
Oh
want
my
to kill
God.
in these games?
I loved when she screwed up in the greenhouse, and
Yeah.
it's basically and the supervisor's like, "You're not going to tell him," and then when the boss comes in, you're like, "Yeah, it was him." It's like, in season 2, I was the most sassiest Claire ever, all sarcastic.
I don't need no team.
I was as well. Because by then, I was just like, if I meet anyone else, I don't need their drama. I've seen The Walking Dead enough from the TV show. Being on your own
Lone wolf is better.
for you.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, no, screw you. I was mean to everyone. And they just kept pulling me back.
Like, come on, you could come with us, little child. I'm old enough to kill zombies. Leave me alone.
Yeah. It's like, oh, she's just a child. Shut up. Leave me alone. I want to go.
Yeah.
Sarah?
Yeah, Sarah.
Oh,
Yeah.
she was annoying.
Good researcher, Alex.
No problem. It
One
came
thing,
out of nowhere.
one thing I do like is the Walking Dead games is they do reference characters from the actual series,
Yeah.
which they do one or twice,
Yeah,
one or two
Glenn.
people.
Glenn,
was in it.
and then was
The
it
farm
the
guy.
farmer.
Herschel.
Herschel.
Which I do like because is characters that if you watch the series you familiarise with. So you like, it's just such a big surprise for people playing the game because all these characters are new characters and all these characters are not in the Walking Dead series. But then when you do spot one or two, it's like, oh, amazing.
I think isn't the game it'd be more related to the
Yes.
comics?
I knew he was going to say that. Yes, it is.
It's because I've read it.
I know that much. I haven't read the comic, but I've seen enough of it and researched enough about it to know that there's more of the characters are definitely in it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I need to read these comics.
I've got the first collection volume and
They look pretty good.
it is amazing for a black and white comic book as well. It is so detailed. And I think that's what benefits from it. It's like you don't need all the color and all this.
The
It's-
Sin City.
Yeah, like
compendium
a Sin City
was
kind of comic
exactly that. So what's the pros and cons?
So pros and cons. Pros for it. I just think the amount of horror in it. Like literally, you play Game of Thrones or something, you're probably gonna get death, but it's more just like the zombie type stuff that I love. So that's my pros for it. And cons, other than the glitches.
you can kill kids. That's a con,
I think-
isn't
I think-
it?
That's more like a pro to me, but I'm just going to shut it off.
Improve upon that. Kill more kids.
I honestly don't know what I'm going to say for a con. Because there's just lots of little things that are probably, but nothing really
Massive in your
yeah,
face.
that's why I really like the game.
That's fair enough though, and that is also
Yeah.
why it's your favourite out of them. The
Yeah.
ones you've played anyway.
And to be honest, at the end of both seasons, I cried, okay? It was
Yeah.
emotional at the end. I
Oh,
loved it
yeah,
for that. Literally, even I was watching PewDiePie play at the time, and God, he was even in tears.
Yeah.
And
Oh, I
he
remember
doesn't
that
do
video.
it so often. For such a comical player, he just literally was in tears, and I just couldn't help but cry as well. It's brilliant.
I would care if Kenny was my boy in season 1. Things stick with me.
Nah, season 2 when you see him is brilliant. Okay, so Lewis, woo, What game do you want to talk about now?
I'll probably have to say my favourite game out of them all, or the ones I've played. Probably The Wolf Among Us.
Oh god, that is good. Yeah.
Because as a big comic fan, obviously I I love Walking Dead because it's more of like the comic book style. Obviously, Wolf Among Us is from the comic book Fables, and it's not a series I'm reading yet. I'm really interested into it though after playing this because I didn't know it existed until this game came out, and that was one of the most interesting things. And what I liked about it was the case of it's just something I'd never seen before, and this is why I try to get into the book series itself.
Yeah, I'd love to get into it.
You play as all the Fable characters, like the Big Bad Wolf, there's Red Riding Hood, there's Snow White, and everyone you can think of probably from a Disney film, and
so Luke Skywalker,
Iron Man. That's season 2 of the Wolf Among Us. No, but and then on top of that, because you're playing as the Big Bad Wolf, is it Bigsby? Is that his name? And I like the fact that he's the sheriff. He's like you. It's kind of like is it New York? Noir, kind of like detective kind of story, which I really did enjoy. And again, I was really invested into the characters every time they introduced me to someone, like obviously Snow White, Ariel, who's obviously in the strip club, and but that was also the amazing thing of how gritty it could get. Yeah. It was like, oh hey, here's all the fairy tale characters you know and love with their happy ending stories. Let's just chuck them in the middle of New York and everything's gone bad for them. So I really enjoyed that.
Just sidebar from this. If you like that sort of thing, watch Once Upon a Time. TV
oh
series.
Yes, no, definitely.
That's pretty much what that is, even though it gets a bit weird further down. But
yeah, no, I think that's definitely
a stroke off the tail.
That's like a good tie-in you can do there. Sorry, did you have something?
No, I'm just saying with when we were talking about the season 1, have an episode become a drug dealer, talking about Wolf Among Us, it's like, hey Lord, you want to stay as the wolf? Or would you like some glamour, baby? I'll hit you up.
I like some glamour. And no, but again, I think episode 1 was for free as well. Back in the day, it was released, and I obviously played it and didn't know, like I said, I didn't know the story, so I thought, oh, it's a new game. I'm just gonna play it and see where it goes. And then obviously the start of the game, I forgot her name, but it's the, I guess you want to call her stripper or hooker or whatever her name would be.
Is it Red?
Red.
Was it Red? I can't remember. But anyway, it's obviously the girl who's being harassed or attacked by the huntsman. That's the one. Thank you, Alex. And I like the fact that you could really kick his ass in that scene, or you could have him kick your ass. It didn't really matter. But
there was a bit of Walking Dead like there at the farm. You could just keep punching him.
Oh yes.
If you kept punching him on the right side of the face non-stop, he was just deformed.
Was it? Oh no, it was the woodsman actually, and
yeah.
But obviously, and then what was the interesting thing there was, you're playing Bigsby, who is the big bad wolf. Everyone knows that as a big bad. And then he's fighting the woodsman, who's technically the good guy from Red Riding Hood's story. But then seeing him as a drunk trying to beat a hooker, and then the big bad wolf's the sheriff, and it's like, no, I have to serve justice on your ass because no one touches hookers this way. And so I like that. That's a real world situation, that is. And then obviously it's, oh god. Anyway, you meet her. She's quite of a nice girl in all fairness, and you can befriend her, whatever it was. Anyway, you carry on the story, and by the end of it, you kind of have a bit of a good run, and then it ends off. And is it Red? We're saying the girl's name was, yeah. And you head back to your apartment, your office, whatever you want to call it. And then there's a scene going on with police surrounding the area, and then all of a sudden, her head, she was decapitated, her head's just left on your door. That really got me, because I was thinking, oh my god, what? I thought this girl was going to, long lasting and throughout the whole series.
Yeah, one of the main characters, no.
But, and then obviously as you go further into, episode 2, 3, 4, and 5 and everything, you explore more of, what's happened to all the Fable characters, more of their world, hidden behind the scenes. And I think one of my favourite bits is, Bigsby's roommate is one of the three pigs.
Yeah.
And I think I loved it when he said like I was having a smoke, and he's like, "Can I have a hit of that?" No. Freeloading pig. Get some glamour. Get a human body and get out of my house.
You get the option to say when he says, "Can I have some?" You have the options of yes, no, get your own.
I do like the option in these games. It does make you laugh. You always got the nice, honest option, or nah, I'm being a badass.
I'm gonna be a full dick.
I'm a dick.
That's pretty much.
Because I like the scene where he's in the pub and he was fighting that guy because the guy changed out his human form.
Oh yes.
And you're not allowed to change out your human form. You have to stay human in the real world, and it just changed in this big beast. And you just got the wolf literally just letting loose, and
That was one of my
favourite
highlights.
You can rip off his arm, or you can't rip off his arm. But then you find out this decision makes a big option when you go back to the bar in future.
Yeah. One of my favourite scenes I was gonna mention was, in the game. Obviously, you get introduced to Bloody Mary, who's one of the villains of the story, and everyone's scared of her because obviously you mention her name, you try to look at her and everything. She sees you or she knows you're looking at her, and she's quite deadly as it is. One of my favourite bits is when you fight her solo and you just turn into the big bad wolf, and I mean every word of that is correct. You are just massive, and you go full four-legged, and you just rip her to shreds. And but yeah, no, it's one of my favourites. Again, going with the whole thing, it's a comic book related thing, and I really do hope they kind of do a season 2, because the way they ended it was a very cliffhanger thing, because you see, obviously, end of the day, you solve the case, the crooked man, he's been locked up, he's killed, whatever your option was, and then you see Ariel, who was one of his, hookers and all this, was she owed him because of whatever the story was, and she says something to you that Red said in episode 1, and it's properly dead on what she said, and then it leaves that, and so then it's kind of thinking, well, hang on, we had a bit of magic of the cases of people can look like other people, even decapitated heads and pieces like that, so is that really Ariel the mermaid, or is that Red, or is it just someone else who was there? So it was a big mystery that's really intrigued me. I want to continue the game. I want to see more of it, especially because I think Fables the comic book now has actually finished. So I think that Marcus from a comic book store in our town, Bristol, Excelsior,
Not sponsored.
and not sponsored, definitely not. He wouldn't like that.
He wouldn't like that.
No, but I remember he's a massive fan of it, and he was talking to me about it, and I think just through general information source on the internet, I did find it was ending or has ended now, and so I think there's a lot of potential they could continue that whole franchise with.
Yeah, I would love to start reading into it, and it will be on my to read list on my collection. But going back to the game itself, I love that it has the fairy tale type people, put them in a real society. I love fairy tale and how it transforms from one side to another. Just an average wolf. Who would have thought that the big bad wolf would be the sheriff? And I love the detective side of it, where you're going around and you're looking for what happened. Like the scene where he's with the frog in the room, and the son's a bit scared, so you have to try and talk to him, and you're trying to get him to befriend you and say what's happened. And you say, "Oh, why is there blood here? And why is the phone born in the wolf mage?" You're looking around and being detective, and I love that because with The Wolf Among Us, it was more of a detective feel to it, and you have to find clues and stuff.
See, that really does feel like a Day of the Tentacle way of playing a game, where it's just clicking on all the objects around the room, trying to find the key, basically. But in this scenario, it's different because it's still the narrative thing, but you can actually walk around the room and they won't let you leave until you actually figure out the puzzle here. Which
I do like, because it gives you a sense of you're not just moving from one scene to another.
Yeah.
You're in the room and you are a wolf you're a detective and you're trying to figure out what's going on.
Yeah, and that's what it reminds me a lot of L.A. Noire. The idea of you're a policeman, you're trying to solve the case, and in that game you pick it up and you go, "Oh, this thing is not of any use. Why did you make the noise then?" Going back to the old Xbox 360 games when it comes to that.
So we'll move on to Lewis. Your game was Wolf Among Us. So what is the pros and cons you would say about the game?
Pros, definitely the characters and some of the character development, depending on the choices you make with people or make for yourself. Like we said, you play as Big Bad Wolf. You're technically the good guy because you're the sheriff, and you can either be addicted to the people or you can try to care for them and really take care of them. Art style was amazing as well. Again, it's got that comic book feel to it. Cons, again, like Dave, I didn't remember so many cons. A few technical issues, yeah, because of like loading screens. I think that's the main thing with a lot of Telltale's games. I'm going to say my main con at the moment is they haven't announced season 2 yet.
Oh,
Yeah, that's good. Con there, right there.
I'd like to add that my cons with Wolf Among Us, even though I loved it, it was very much the same as what they've already done before. Just the outcomes of your options, the choices you make, they just didn't hit home for me as like they did.
Well, yeah,
that was
I can understand that though.
yeah,
Cause
that was my issue with season
Much
2.
more subtle.
Yeah, it was just. I think the decisions, yes, whilst may not be an impact, but the style felt like something new, so that reinvigorated it and made it stronger as that. If that makes any
I
sense.
agree with that. I just don't think it was. I guess it just wasn't the type of genre for me.
That's absolutely
right.
fine.
So now it's my choice. My favorite. Oh wait, I haven't played the games.
Ooh.
So yeah, I was saying, in general, I do love the
I
way
watched
the
the
games. I watched the games. Sorry, I'm one of those
I
guys.
thought you had Wolf Among Us though.
No, I haven't. I've watched all of them.
Alright.
Literally, I watched all of them. So
Classic YouTuber.
yeah, classic YouTuber. That's what I'm all
Buy
about.
the
But
games,
yeah,
just watch 'em.
but yeah,
support
a
the
quick shout out for the other games. Any other games we want a quick shout out to say which ones were good. So
Game of Thrones.
Game of
That's
Thrones.
definitely one.
Yeah,
That's up there with Wolf Among Us for
Wolf
me.
Among Us.
For basically with Game of Thrones, it's basically just like the show. Oh, I'm starting to like this character, and they're dead. And it feels like, whilst I didn't feel so much of impact with season 2, what I loved
Of Walking Dead.
Walking Dead season 2. What I loved and hated about Game of Thrones was like, okay, I've done it. I made the treaty. Everything's good between the two clans. Oh no, it's Ramsay Snow again. Time to screw it up.
no.
And it's like, whilst it felt like my changes were so impactful, but also it was like nothing I could do, which was it felt like the show, just like with Walking Dead, how you need to make those choices to survive.
I'll just mention one of my favourite factors about Game of Thrones there. Because you play as multiple characters,
Yes.
all from the same family and everything. All your choices affect the other family members,
Yes.
and I really like that because
Yes.
at the same time you kind of got to look out for yourself because it does put you in the right. You're no longer the warrior son who like you just need to fight people. You're now the daughter who kind of works underneath the queen and you
The
need
handmaiden.
the handmaiden you are, and you gotta help your family by kind of influencing higher ups by going, oh, maybe you can give some gold to my family, and in exchange we can do trade with your family and all this. And if you don't do that, they're not back on the other side where you play as the son. He could be struggling keeping his family together and trying to keep the fortress going.
any other games you want to give a shout out?
I would say, if you like your comedy, definitely go for the Borderlands because that is just hilarious.
Yeah,
Right?
it's
If you like
absolutely
a bit of story,
funny,
a bit of fun. Well, get that game; it's amazing.
bro.
If you like your horror and you like your zombies, get Walking Dead. If you like your drama and your noir, your detective
Wolf Among
story
Us.
with a bit of a twist, then go for Wolf Among Us. And don't get Back to the Future, especially if you're a fan.
Yeah. Okay, so just to give a shout, there's a couple of games that is out at the moment and coming out with Telltale Games, which many of them we're looking forward to. Lewis has a few of them down.
Is this the one's coming out you're wanting to know? Or
So we'll talk about the one that's recently came out. Is the
well, the recent one they've shown mainly because of I guess Comic-Con was the Batman Telltale game.
Batman. Okay, that's totally in my books because I'm a Batmanaholic. So
Superman fan.
T-shirt.
I have a Batman t-shirt with my Superman over here, Alex.
Oh yeah, it's Superman represent.
And just DC family is Lewis.
Anything Justice League.
Justice League.
I'll take anything.
But yeah,
Goddamn ball.
that's one of the games that's coming out, which we'll come back to in a sec to talk about because I think that one's going to be a big one
We've
to
got a
talk
bit
about.
more discussion.
A bit more discussion about that one.
Other than Batman, then we do have the announcement for Game of Thrones season 2.
Yeah, that's cool.
Looking forward to that.
God,
Obviously,
how
as
I'm gonna
everyone
fix
knows,
everything.
Walking Dead season 3, which is
Cannot wait for that.
an obvious one. With that one, I'll quickly mention, because we'll probably go further into it in a minute. What's the little girl's name again? Clementine?
Yeah.
Clementine.
She's now grown up. I guess she's probably 18 or 20, early 20s.
Yeah.
And there's the last one. She's obviously going to be... I think, well, no, you get to play as 2 characters. Her and a new character who's a male of the same age.
So, yeah.
That's cool.
So you can guess what's going to happen in that game.
There's going to be a lot of aspects of growing up. Bonding aspects.
And then the last one we have announced, but at the same time, nothing's been said. They have an untitled Marvel game.
Oh, that sounds cool. I can imagine a lot from that.
Now, I've got some, theories or
So
what I'd
do
like
I.
to see about it.
Okay,
Alright.
give
Now-
it to us.
Yeah.
I think, because at the same time, I know obviously Marvel movies pretty much the biggest things at the moment.
Yeah, which one?
Batman vs Superman was okay, guys.
Yeah,
It was.
Yes.
It was. It was just that goddamn first 45 minutes of chatting bullshit. And
Slow mo.
no, but what I'd want them to do from this, because at the same time, obviously, they need to do the whole. You need to link it to the superhero characters everybody knows now. Everyone knows Iron Man, Hulk, Captain America, and Thor.
Who doesn't?
And I think the best way to link all these together, and it doesn't have to be related to the movies, because I think trying to do that is going to be too much. Just make it its own comic book story. Have you as an agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. That way you can be interacting with all the heroes. You can be interacting with Nick Fury, Maria Hill, all the top agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. You can also see Coulson. I reckon you probably will get involved with. Other than that, you'll also be fighting like the villains' henchmen, so you can fight
Hydra.
Hydra. Yeah, that's
Hell,
that's gonna be the biggest
Hydra
one.
officers.
You can fight AIM.
Well, if you look back at all their previous games that they've done in recent times, they're all franchise games, but they're not from the main point of view of like the main characters. They're all like the spin-off stories or from other comics, all comic related as well. They've all got the visual, awesome looking comic style to them all. So it could just be, like you say, that, but based on a real life comic.
Yeah, like,
Not so
and then
much
they can just kind of, with all your decision making, it can be, it can be the exact same story, or it can just go off its own course.
I can imagine you could befriend a certain, because you have to make choices in the game, because that's what Telltale Games is good for.
Yeah.
You can make, you can either help Iron Man, or you can either help the Hulk. Who are you gonna help? And then,
Hulk.
Yeah.
And you never see them for the rest of the season.
What if they killed one off?
But what I'd like to see, because obviously you're paying, they just have to make it like a almost James Bond kind of feel. Like you just need to be, you're a spy, you can be like a double agent type still.
Isn't DC doing that now?
Well, we'll get involved with that.
Yeah.
No, but what I'd like to see, if I'm to say right in thinking this or whatever, if you're an agent of S.H.I.E.L.D., and obviously you need a plot twist and it needs to be big that will affect the game, by the end of episode 1, have it revealed that you're actually an agent of Hydra. And then your choices throughout the game story, you can either make the choices of, this will benefit Hydra, or I like being an agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. Actually, let's benefit this now.
Or you play as Iron Man or something everyone knows, and you're saving a city, and you have to make the choice between: do you save the baby,
Oh.
or do you save your
Grandma.
trusted sidekick?
Yeah.
So, Marvel Studios and games, if you need any ideas, there's Lewis on Link Cables. If
Damn
you want
straight.
to,
I'm going to be talking about that
If
awful
you-
lot.
if you want to hire him, he's available now and forever.
I will link these games together somehow.
Boosh.
Boom.
So we got Batman, Marvel coming out, Untitled, Game of Thrones, also Walking Dead Season 3. But one game that recently came out, which you wouldn't actually expect, is 7 Days to Die.
Oh yeah.
Now, if you don't know this game so well, 7 Days to Die came out on PC and that through the Steam system beforehand by another company, and only recently Telltale produced it into a PS4 and Xbox One game, which I have seen on the PlayStation Store. And it's like a Minecraft zombie type game. And yeah, I'm surprised they actually decided to do that. Yeah. I just just producing a game that's different. So after the formula has been so similar, they've actually turned around and decided to actually make a proper game or produce a proper game.
Yeah, but just like what we're talking about with Walking Dead, the thing is, zombies are still in.
Yeah.
Walking Dead's got a spin-off show, Fear the Walking Dead, I think it's called.
That's really good. I've watched
I
all
haven't
season
seen that
1.
yet.
Yeah.
It's what they did with season 1, similar to the Walking Dead, just normal series. The first season is only like 6 episodes long.
Yeah. But it's just like with 7 Days to Die, which I don't know that much about the game, but I do know for the fact that, it's zombies are still in.
Well, it's like
Yeah.
at E3, what was that game they announced on the Sony conference?
Like
Days Gone?
With
Is
Days
that-
Gone. Yeah.
Again, like, it looks like The Last of Us,
Yeah.
but it's in, another zombie-ish type world.
Yeah.
But, no, just the footage they showed looks so crazy. The fact that you ran through the barn and there's just hordes of fast-running zombies coming at you.
Isn't that World War Z?
It is.
Yeah.
But then that film went to England and got bad.
So,
But no, it's just because of Doctor Who, that was all. Ooh.
so maybe because Telltale knew that zombies were in at the moment and still in because all these games coming up, that they decided to produce the 7 Days to Die, which no one on the console, it never touched console before, only been on PC, not many people know about it, and it's still in alpha, kinda. So yeah, they decided to produce it on PlayStation 4 and Xbox One, which I most likely will get around to playing, so it's nice to see Telltale Games trying something different.
Branch out into a
Branch
different-
Money does that to people.
Yeah. So, we'll move on to Batman.
Woo!
Woo!
Superman.
Oh,
Wrong crowd.
no.
Wrong crowd.
Yeah.
Are we looking at the game, the new film, or
Lego Batman.
Lego Batman?
Oh god.
Let's just.
That's for
whilst
another
we're in
podcast.
Telltale, let's
Let's get off
focus on.
Batman.
We can,
If
one
we-
day
if
we
we-
can do a Batman episode as long as we do a Superman episode.
Oh,
as well.
okay.
Episode every week, by the looks of it.
Yeah. we can
Just
literally
like
just do a whole
zombies.
podcast about Batman, and it'll last for about 5 hours with me. So we're not going on to that topic.
It's going that way at the moment.
It's
Yeah,
good.
no,
Anyway.
yeah.
So yeah,
Um,
Telltale Games recently released a trailer for it, and
It looks brilliant.
it looks brilliant.
Again, going with it's the classic Telltale's look, the cell shading as it is.
Yeah.
Batman looks brilliant as he is. Even like when you see him as Bruce Wayne, I can believe that's Bruce Wayne, that's Batman, that's Alfred. Even Catwoman's in it, which I think is interesting. I think one of the interesting points though, from the looks of it, the main villain's probably going to be the Falcone family, which is like the mafia gangster type family in Gotham.
Yeah.
That's
So
pretty cool.
I think they won't probably touch. I reckon you will obviously probably get more super powered villains, maybe like Poison Ivy, maybe even Clayface, just to mix things up. You're more than likely going to see Joker.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
So talking about this, because at the moment with the new 52 comics, going to that topic for a second, the detective comics were more like characters like Ivy and that, and the Batman goes off on
And Penguin.
and Penguin a lot, and then the main Batman comic goes off on a tangent with all the super crazy Joker and all these other characters. So I guess they're going for more detective type mode, like Wolf Among
But
Us.
that's the only way you should do it.
Yeah, and
really.
I totally agree with that choice because he is known as the greatest detective.
Mhm.
But in a lot of medias or games, you don't really see a lot of him do that. Like in the Arkham series, I think they did a good enough job at going right. To progress the story, you need to find all these little things in the game. Obviously, that's mainly an action adventure game, but
So really,
I
just bashed people's head for 98% of the game, and then story
counter.
Why?
But no, yeah, I think that's
Triangle.
definitely the right way to go. My sort of theory is just judging from the trailer. Because like at the moment, in the trailer, sort of mentioning the mafia type family and all this, it might really affect Bruce Wayne. Like you might have to do a lot of Bruce Wayne stuff to kind of find out stuff.
I disagree with that. I personally see it a bit like with the Arkham games. In I think it was the beginning of Arkham City, when you see the bullet fired when you're trying to track the Joker, and you have you work out where the bullets landed. I see it with having Batman's technology and all those gadgets to undercover what's been happening instead of Bruce Wayne, because Bruce Wayne wouldn't have the technology maybe at hand. I see people go, oh, what can I do? I'll have the infrared. I'll do whatever I can in the bat suit. That's how I personally see it.
No, I definitely agree with you on that. And no, but what I meant by the whole Bruce Wayne is keeping face and then at the same time you have to get involved with the public.
Vicky
Because
Vale.
yeah, Vicky Vale, and you're more than likely gonna have to interact with the Mafia family because even though that
I can see like an episode where you're at a dinner party or something
Yes.
as Bruce Wayne, and you've got to try and find some information, and then you go behind the scenes in a toilet or something and get changed,
yeah,
and,
and
then you arrest someone.
because what I reckon they're gonna definitely do is there's gonna be a point in the story when you might slightly annoy Falcone, thank you, and he might just kind of go like, right, rough him up, boys, because I didn't appreciate that. And then you've got a choice of, well, Falcone's left. Do I kick their asses?
Because I can.
Or do I let them beat me because, oh, I'm just a billionaire, don't hurt me, I'll give you money. So, but then, like, I just think that's going to be a choice in the game. It won't be like a massive one, but at the same time, it might be a little bit suspicious if you kick their asses.
I didn't think about the trailer for this, but this actually goes against all their other games of how you play your main character, because all the other characters, like I said previously, just said, that they've all been nobodies before. Now you're playing as Batman, you're the centre role by the looks of it, if this is what it is.
Yeah.
So they're kind of going in a different direction on this one, which...
I think they would be interested in that, just going from against the grain.
Yeah.
I would say it would be good because a lot of things you don't see so often. Batman in his suit, everyone knows who Batman is, he's vicious, but sometimes Batman has a soft side, sometimes he goes a bit wild, like...
like Batman vs Superman.
Yeah, like Batman vs
Yeah,
Superman.
he doesn't care anyone.
So he has two violent sides, so I could see the decision of, oh yeah, you can talk your way out of this, or you can punch your way out of this.
Do you sneakily get away from the police, or
Yeah.
do you like smoke bomb them?
Do smoke bombs? So decisions you make, because it has to have such a big impact on the story whilst it goes, that you could either just get vicious and he's angry. Can you be angry that because there must be something that happens which he has to make a decision. Do I get angry about this, or do I calmly have to sort the situation out?
What I want most from a new Telltale Games of any kind, really, is
For it to work.
Well, you that, but more outcomes. Like, more... You know when you play a game and you find out there's only the good ending or the bad ending?
Yeah.
I want 10 different endings. That's replayability.
Yeah, I can...
I know you
I
disagree.
know, well, I disagree,
You
but...
play it once.
Yeah, but I've heard that a lot complaint with a lot of, like, decision-based games, but what I see it as is that it's a coloring book. It's the idea, whilst the image is, we go from point to point to make the image, but what makes that experience so unique is how we shade it, how we colour it in.
Yeah.
So whilst I can understand having 10 endings, and a game that does it pretty well, or roughly, even though it all ends to about the amount of survivors is Until Dawn, that does different endings but with different
But
people.
I would say Walking Dead did a really good job of it, because there was I know of at least 3 different endings you get at the end of season 2 that are possible, and they're not as blatant as good, bad, and in between. It's just kind of like there's different endings, there's different locations, and they're quite drastic changes, and I would love to see that. Someone else.
Going back to characters that are in it, what I like, and because this could lead into a great choice, I kind of want this game to be its own thing.
Yeah.
I don't want it to be tied heavily. People that have to live. Like make it like Arkham, where it's like
Kill
the Joker
Alfred.
dies. And well, that could be a choice. Like that's what I'm saying. Like that because that would really hit home. That would go whoa, didn't see that coming. Alfred's like the computer guy that give you the info and everything and take care of
Isn't that
you.
Oracle?
And
Well,
is Oracle
The new
in this
52
game, or is she
one.
Batgirl?
Yeah.
Is she just Barbara?
so there's a
Goddamn
break-in
comic book nerds.
There's a break-in at Wayne Manor, and you've got to defend the building, and Alfred dies.
Yeah, no,
And
but
you
like
just
that's what I want.
Lock the door for the Batcave and don't let him in. Yeah.
But like, because what I'd like to see, what would be interesting, because they've made a reference in season 1 of Walking Dead where Duck pretends to be Dick Grayson, which is Robin from Batman. I actually watched an interview when the trailer came out. The interviewer asked him saying, "Was that a little Easter egg?" And he said, "Yeah, because we've been trying to get this for years." So I want Robin to be in this game, but like not as like grown up. I want him to be Kid Robin, and then maybe have like a little bit of a. Is it Red Hood? When Jason Todd?
Jason Todd.
What book does he die in?
What? Spoiler?
Well, that's
No,
an old spoiler.
No, this is an old comic.
That's way
where
old. That's before we were born.
This is where this is
It's
an
not.
older one where dramatically Jason gets killed by the Joker. That's what I'd love to see in the game.
That's what I want.
That's what I want. It's one new situation where I can see it happening. Do you either save Catwoman because she's in trouble and stay with her tonight, or do you decide to go save your Robin because Robin is trapped and he said, "I need your help."
Yeah.
But you think, oh, Catwoman's gonna be suicidal, so you get decision Catwoman or your sidekick. But then your sidekick doesn't get saved and gets killed by one of the mafia members.
You can have like they get introduced because it's like mafia. There's mafia people in it. You could have like Two-Face show up.
Yeah.
And he could be like the guy who's like flipping the coin.
See,
Heads. Oh, well, you're dead.
see, that's what I want. Characters you know and love, and then the drastic decisions on top of it. That way you really care about it. Yeah.
I pose this to the group. Do we have end of season 1? Does Batman die?
Ooh, he could get replaced by Robin.
Yes.
He could. That's happened. That's happened before.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Spoilers.
going back to Batman.
Ooh, yeah.
Batman
Michael.
RMP where Grayson goes off and he becomes Batman for a while when Batman's going back in time. But yeah, Batman nerd. Sorry.
But I don't think Telltales will probably go that far into it.
But
Like,
yeah,
Batman's dead,
Yeah.
but he's really going through time and he's
Yeah.
going through different incarnations. That's gonna make sense. We'll make it.
We're doing it in the narrative.
But-
5 episodes will be enough.
But funny as it is, we know that Telltale Games is good for each episode actually lasts a good amount of time, and so much story can happen in that episode that the amount of stuff they could do with this is just amazing. You can imagine one episode, a big decision, cliffhanger on the end, and then second episode you're sorting out that cliffhanger and he gets angry because someone's died. Does he get angry about it, or does he actually calmly sort out?
Masturbate in the corner just to deal with his problems.
Let's go further into that detail, Alex.
Okay. Basically, when you're
No,
angry-
okay.
No,
okay.
okay.
Well, no, it was a Death in the Family was the story for the Jason Todd die-in.
Oh yeah, Death in the Family, yeah.
But yeah, no, those are choices I'd like to see. Just real something that would really impact the game. Because again, I'll reference it back to the Arkham series. Was it Arkham City where the Joker died?
Yes.
Yes, and well, especially when they had Mark Hamill actually do the voice of that. That was
Love Mark
amazing.
Hamill,
He's
yes.
probably one of my favourite Jokers.
Nah, I don't think he's that good.
Oh.
Oi.
Yeah.
Superman.
He's nice.
Superman.
You're not making friends
Oi.
here today.
Oi,
Yeah,
wheelchair.
Oi,
Oh.
stay in your grave.
That aside, all the terrible jokes there, boys.
Yeah. Go away, bat nipples. Alright, Dave, you got something to
Go,
say?
Dave. Go.
Okay. Well, I could see if it's any indication of what the way the movie industry's going, could also lead into spin-offs, because then you could do Justice League, then you have things like Flash, and so on and so forth. So you can just spin-offs like
no,
crazy.
actually, that'd be really good.
And they could all reconnect again.
Yeah.
Because basically, you could say that would be stealing the Avengers Assemble kind of thing. But that's like a common thing
But
with how
rather than-
losing these movies should go.
Rather than being like The Walking Dead, where you've got season 1 and 2 of the same long story with 2 different characters, it could be the same story, but in different parts of that city. And then season 1 could be Batman, season 2 could be Flash, and season 3 could be they meet up and Justice League.
That'd be cool because I remember when the last Arkham Knight came out. I remember there was like a lot of Easter eggs towards like the Justice League members. You never saw them in the game in the end, but I remember before the launch, people I guess dived into the demo or whatever they had, found out all these Easter eggs, and I think someone made up a rumor of like, oh yeah, the ending, because spoilers, it seems like Batman gets blown up in the end of that game. And
Did you get the secret ending?
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. But I won't dive into that secret ending because it was a little bit too confusing. But I remember people like come up with a rumor and a lie of saying, hey, if you get the secret ending, the Justice League's there, and it might lead into a Justice League game or other superhero games. What you just said about introducing, well, maybe you could have I don't know, episode 4, Superman can show up for a little bit, give him a little bit of development there, and then he flies off and does his own thing. Technically season 2, you can just play as Superman, continue in that story, and then have maybe Batman show up again to reference what he happened, or introduce a new character.
Going back to just before we carry on, because I remember playing Arkham Knight, just getting those goddamn Riddler trophies, and I was overseeing two criminals talking on the radio, basically saying about over in Metropolis about this man who can fly. So there was obvious references to the Man of Steel, and so there's actual dialogue referring to Superman, which leads credence to your thought about that. Justice League.
I would say, okay, so for this Batman game coming out, what would you like to see happen in the game? So we'll give one thing that you would love to see in the game, which will just complete the game for us. So I'll start with Lewis.
Definitely a lot of hard choices, like I mentioned about, hey, if Robin's in it and there's a chance Robin might die, I'd like to have that choice. Not because I want Robin to die, but but like, you know, you need it to impact you. You can't just have like every main comic book character in it and nothing terrible happens to them. You need a little bit of consequences in your choices.
Would you chase the car or check your paperwork again?
So you just want something dramatic to happen. You just want someone to die.
Yeah, and
it's just unexpected.
Just to add on to that, because of Dave's joke, I just thought, what if you have... Because in the trailer, Alfred does mention saying maybe you should give Batman a rest or whatever. Maybe you do have the choice of, should I do Batman now? Or should I not bother and stay as Bruce Wayne?
Or do Batman Beyond?
Or do... Or just do full Batman and forget about Bruce Wayne. But then that affects Bruce Wayne's life. And then obviously if you don't play as Batman as often, you affect like criminal life is getting higher.
Or are you going to see this girl that you're actually into, or are you going to go Batman
and
find out this girl is actually Catwoman?
Because that's like a big thing with Batman, obviously. It's like...
That would go with the games. You don't go full Batman, though.
Yeah.
True.
You don't go full Kenny.
So, Alex, what would you like to see out of this game? One
Superman.
main thing. Superman.
References to the world's finest duo, which what I would actually like is the least amount of action. Because what I would love to see, because in most reincarnations of Batman, it's been heavily focused on the action. And what interests me about Batman, which I do like as a character, is the detective side. And I'd rather take the game that's like 75% detective and it's more like stealth. It's like you have to move shadow to shadows and just try and work out the case and then have action sequences there. But I want the primary focus of the game to be a detective story with action elements, which I worry that the trailer's given out more of an action vibe. But anyway, we'll see it when the game comes.
I agree, 50-50, I'd be happy with that.
75-25.
So, Dave, what would you like? One main thing out this.
Yeah, I would want to see actual known characters rather than just nobodies again. I think I should do something a bit more different and in your face. Yeah, definitely.
As the biggest Batman nerd who I know, what do you want in this Batman game?
Well, in many games it's hard to say, but a lot of them don't do it. I would like to see reference to all different Robins, or at least a few of them, so there is multiple Robins in the universe, in the comic universe. So I would like to see, Dick Grayson's over there as Nightwing doing something.
In Bloodhaven.
And you have a decision of Jason Todd dying, or you have Tim, or even a mention of Damian with the Ra's al Ghul. So I would like to see multiple Robins, even if it's, might be back to your point, if it's one Robin, which I would love to see Dick Grayson die, you know?
Yeah.
That would be such a cliffhanger that the main character, the main Robin that grew up to become Nightwing, dies somehow.
Yeah.
I would love...
Yeah, you would love more Robins. Like we said, we're talking about all the different types.
Make it more of a bird game than a bat game.
Okay, so with this game, we just saw some information that Telltale Games just announced the first episode of Batman is hit digital stores in August the 2nd, so it's not that far.
Ooh.
Just in time for my birthday!
Yay. Very close to the Suicide Squad, like at last episode we talked about.
Yeah.
But yeah,
it's DC for me!
Yeah, unlike people born in June.
As a person that hasn't played any of the Telltale Games properly...
You gonna watch this again?
No, this one I am going to buy. I'm going to be down playing this game, and I can't wait to come back
the
to
Batman nerd?
The Batman nerd playing the Batman game? What?
Wait. Is the sun out? Is the heat coming up? Sorry, I'm talking obvious
so
things.
I can't wait to play this one. Who else is going to be playing this one when it comes out then?
Definitely. Well, if you can pre-order, I'll pre-order the whole...
50-50.
It depends. I'll see more of it.
I'm 100%
Okay.
I-
I'm going full nerd on it.
I'm 85% due to the fact with Telltale's like Minecraft, and it's the idea of I don't mind waiting a week or like a few days for a patch, because I'd rather play a game that doesn't have any issues. Like, I don't want to have like a Batman game. It's like the villain of the episode is, and then like it doesn't speak or it just breaks. It would ruin that momentum for me. So if everyone's saying it works and it's going for it, yeah, I'll jump on. But I don't mind waiting a while, because I'd rather have a more fully fledged, making sure it works.
So as far as I can see, since their first game, which to me really is Walking Dead, just they never made a bad game.
Yeah.
Like, all their games are worth the money, definitely. So yeah, probably will get it.
I just wanted to say, because like we said with these announcements, obviously Batman, the Marvel game, and then Game of Thrones Season 2 and Walking Dead Season 3. What do you guys hope about Game of Thrones Season 2? I know, Dave, you're not really into it.
I think me and you, Lewis, are the only ones who finished it.
Yeah.
Curtis started it.
No. Curtis watched it.
Yeah.
Dave didn't play
I
it.
watched it or played it.
The one thing I want for Game of Thrones Season 2 is that, as we know, we can ruin the Tuttle family.
Oh yes.
Yes, yeah. I still got a couple people left, and basically they left it open for Season 2 quite
well.
And I'm interested to see, because with Game of Thrones, it was in between Season 4 and 5. That was roughly the timeline. I'm interested to see when Season 2 takes place, because are we going to have references like what happened John at the Wall, which Game of Thrones fans will know what I mean by that. And have the idea of that. So I'm interested in that. But yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm definitely interested in see how it connects to like the Game of Thrones TV show as well. But other than that, because again they haven't said too much about it, I'll move on to Season 3 of The Walking Dead.
Oh,
as that's a main thing all of us have played, it seems.
Yeah.
Curtis has watched on YouTube,
Curtis
and we'll watch it again.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys.
But
I'll see you guys
what do
later.
you two think about it, Dave and Alex?
Well, with Michonne, with the
Michonne.
Which we haven't actually really
I
seen or
haven't played
played.
it. I thought about playing it, but not that bothered. And that's how I feel about Season 3.
Oh, wow.
I probably would enjoy it a little bit more than that, just because it's got Clementine.
You know the character.
continuing the story.
Or Clementine died in the first episode, and it becomes.
Well, that could be an option, because they did say 2 characters are playable.
That wouldn't surprise me at all.
I would hate that. You took us this long. Now we
And
love
the first
her.
game you
and
actually
for
played.
Season
Well,
3
that-
dies.
And
Like,
she dies, yeah.
Oh my
let's
God.
get it on.
Alex, anything to add on?
Whilst Walking Dead sort of sullied me a bit, I still think it was an incredible story. And maybe because of the gap that I've had between Season 2 and taking a break from Walking Dead was shown, I'm more open for it, but
The drive's gone for me.
yeah, I've lost a lot of momentum, and even with Batman looking interesting and thing, I have lost some momentum for Telltale, because there's like, I remember playing an episode of
And you're in this
Game of
podcast
Thrones,
right now.
yeah, doing this, doing that, doing so many episodes. So I have lost a bit of momentum.
That's fair enough.
And I hope for good episodes, and I just want games to work.
Yeah, I think with what Telltale's done, I guess they've done anyway, is obviously they did Walking Dead Season 1. Then I think, was it Season 2 came out almost straight after?
It was.
Because Wolf Among Us came out.
Yeah, it did give it quite a long break before it came out, so yeah, it wasn't straight away.
But with that, like you guys saying, having a bit of a massive break from this, Season 3, yeah, I can see where it's like, it's died down a little bit because the hype's not there as much. Maybe when the TV show comes out, I might bring it back up again. But no, what I'd like to see them do a bit more of, really, because they've got all these like seasons. Season 1 out of like a lot of things, like Tales from the Borderlands, Wolf Among Us, like I mentioned earlier. I like them just kind of continue with the ones they've already got, and then maybe like flash out newer ones later on down the line. Because at the moment it seems to be doing right. We've done Season 1, we've done Season 2 of Walking Dead. We're about to do Season 3. Everything else has got a 1 season only though.
Yeah.
And But instead of continuing that, we're just going to keep releasing new series.
I think I saw that it hasn't actually set a date. Like, the Marvel said that 2017 is when they're going to try and bring it out.
Yeah.
But this one and haven't actually got a date down, so it might be after a couple of seasons too of all the other type of Wolf Among Us and that.
So I think that'd be cool. But now I'll move on to, well,
That was it.
that's it. Yeah.
Yeah. I would like to talk, because we talked about the upcoming games. That we live in the time that nerdom spans the whole different franchises of sci-fi, fantasy, and all sorts. So I'll pose to the group here: if Telltale made a game of your franchise of your choice, what would you like to see, and what sort of elements? Because for me, after the recent hit of the Netflix show Daredevil, I would love a Daredevil Telltale series. And because one, it's going back to what I wanted from the Batman, like the idea of a legal case, and I like the idea of like having choices going. I can get him accused of jail, but I can get him sent to jail, but he will escape, and those sorts of dynamics. And plus, I would love for them visually to go crazy with it, with the idea of what Matt sees, because throughout different interpretations,
Nothing.
yeah, but like with his radioactivity of like just the noises.
He
and
hears
stuff.
with sound. And...
Yeah, and just seeing those colours, I think it could be kind of trippy, kind of weird. But
Basically, play when the Telltale's Batman games come out. Play that on acid.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
probably
yeah,
got
yeah.
Daredevil.
yeah, and that's what I want. I just want visually. That's what I loved about Wolf Among Us is the art style, and I think visually they use a lot of muted colours and dark colours. So yeah,
I think that'd be cool.
So what would you guys like to see?
I'd like to see, which is probably my favourite Marvel team of heroes, is the X-Men. But what I'd like them to do with this is play as a X-Men student, and it can be its own character. It doesn't have to be one from the books. You just make it new. You're the new kid in school.
Wait, isn't this South Park Stick of Truth?
So you play as douchebag.
Why are you looking at me, Lewis, when you say that words?
No reason. No, but I'd like to see it kind of take a lot of influence from the comic book series Wolverine and the X-Men, where like all the X-Men like Storm, Wolverine, Nightcrawler, Beast are like the teachers, and then it mainly focuses on the new students. So here's a random bunch of kids you don't know yet, but we're gonna flesh them out. They've all got different abilities than what you've seen before, and then it's kind of more of a school drama. So it could be like the high school kid type story.
Quite like Life is Strange, which is a very high school based drama, which the idea of time travel, which we're talking about Telltale, was a very similar episodic game done by Square Enix. So I just thought, yeah, that sounds like an interesting idea. What about you, Dave?
So, I'm going to say there's one I would like to see, but first, quickly, I'm just going to say the one that's most likely going to happen is Star Wars.
No, they want to make another $1 billion.
There'll be
Yeah.
episode 9 will be a Telltale's game.
But the
other
problem
than
is,
that-
you buy episode 2, and then there's another episode 2 after a year.
50, yeah.
Yeah.
But other than that, what I would like to see, Spider-Man. Just you being Spider-Man, swinging around the city, and do you save this person or this person? Consequences. I think
You
the
get one.
dialogue on that would be great.
That'd be
It's a
hilarious.
story-based thing, because then trying to keep your hidden
Secret
identity,
identity.
and then the things he would be saying will also be funny. So you could have a bit of,
Yeah, no, I definitely like to see that. We probably all enjoy Spider-Man.
yeah.
Spider-Man.
And especially with is it Tom Holland, the actor
Yes,
who played
Tom
him in
Holland.
Civil War? He did a great
You did a great job,
incarnation of Spider-Man and Peter Parker.
Peter Parker.
So I definitely think there's definitely room for that game, especially if it's like young Spider-Man. So it's like
And I don't know, but that Marvel one could be there.
it could be. There's definitely a
And there's
possibility
a
of that
Sony
because it's one of.
PS4 game with Spider-Man shown at
But
this E3.
that's what I was about to say then. Would that be the one downfall saying,
Yeah.
right, we won't do that
Yeah.
because
Sony still
there's already
got the
a
rights
to that.
Spider-Man game coming out.
Wouldn't be now.
But going back to
2 years.
my one about the X-Men thing, I like to see it like I said, the Wolverine and the X-Men. Also like X-Men Evolution, the cartoon, where you just play as the young, and because you could maybe get involved with human kids. Because I like to see it start off with maybe like in episode 1, you're in normal high school.
Yeah, you're a normal human before it gets to.
Yeah, and then maybe like again, this is where you learn about I'm a mutant, oh wow, all of a sudden everybody hates me, even my best friend.
Yeah.
And yeah, you can get real emotion
yeah,
from that. I reckon
you
even your parents could hate you.
You could either be like, screw it, I'm gonna be evil, go with the brotherhood.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Kill
That's
my family, or I'm the X-Men appears and I decide I'm gonna help them instead and go with them because sorry family, as much as you hate me, I'm not a bad person.
I would love that during like say episode 2 or something. That way you're already invested, so you don't just choose a side and then try the other one.
Because I
have to go through.
I got a good choice of how it maybe happens. Start off as a student of the Xavier School, have Mystique disguised as your new friend, and then she can like maybe influence you in that sort of sense.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool. Myself, well, they've already done it, I guess. I know. So yeah, they already done.
One trick pony.
So
I
yeah, they
want to
already
see
done
Robin the
Batman.
Telltale
Yeah.
Game.
Funny as it is, I actually have a pretty good one, which is actually pretty awesome. Like, they've done a lot of other genres at the moment, but I'd love to see a horror one again. And imagine aliens. And imagine that you have your team at the start, and this is yet again going back to the mechanics of The Walking Dead. That each team...
Wait. As in like Aliens the movie, or just like an alien-based story?
Aliens the movie type thing.
Oh
where,
yeah.
Oh, because then you could lose members.
You can use
Oh,
members.
I'm invested.
Yeah, because imagine it that you have your team when you all wake up and you wake up together and it's just natural, like the beginning of the first Alien where you're all just eating, and you get to know these characters. You go into a holographic place and you're doing stuff together.
And one of them is a cyborg.
Oh.
An android, and he's the villain.
Totally rip off the first film.
So it could happen.
But you have you can hear there's a noise outside the door. Do you send someone through the vent? That sort of thing.
Yeah.
And
But the thing is, I would like it not just to be aliens. I would like to have it like Aliens vs Predator scenario where you're in space. But no.
Now you lost him.
No, it's like, because then it gives you more. I guess it branches that out, but aliens definitely.
Yes.
Because it's the scary emotion. You have the thing on you, so when you're interacting, you have to go, oh, this doorway, we can't go down this doorway because there's alien there.
Just like
However,
Alien
you find out
Isolation.
that the motion's just another human being on the other side.
I think Kurt's not
Yeah.
there.
So basically, Curtis, I'm gonna find the email now for Telltale. Send you a CV.
But to be honest, it could be just so gruesome, and it's a horror one, and they're really good at killing people. Like, it's the thing where
That's what sells the game.
but then your team could find out that there's stuff on the ship, and one person could find it, but he goes insane, so you have to try and convince him to be better.
Well, one step further, they use the same models from the other games. So you have Clementine in your team as a different character.
Yeah, but yeah, you can imagine it. Wow, like, oh, we could go down this way. Do we stick together? Do we split up?
Yeah.
That person's going insane. This robot, if you don't be friends with him, he goes insane, and you can convince him to come back to society. Or if you just ignore him and just hate him, like, oh, I hate him because he's a cyborg, and they have problems in the Aliens movie. Then you go, oh no. Yeah. Then if you actually befriend him, you can help him, or if you don't, he just literally kills off one of you guys because you decide not to help him out.
Oh, dude, you've sold me on this.
Yeah.
If they don't make it now, I might just jump off that bridge.
But the thing is, I know that they brought it back recently with a couple other games, but it's just one. If Telltale Games did it, you can imagine they could do a lot of good stuff with it, and it could be like Walking Dead at the end. You chose this decision, and you still have your team. No one's dead yet. But then at the end, it could just be you, and then the final decision is, because it's just you and no one else, you die.
I can see a way. Again, if we say that, the 5 episodes and everything like that, have episode 1 like the first film, just one alien running around, and then as episode 2 happens, because like you discover the nest and the
Queen,
the face suckers and infect a team member.
That scared the shit out of me in Alien Isolation when it's just like, oh, it's only one of them, and in the last level there's hundreds of them, and it's like,
Oh no!
Yeah.
Spoilers on Aliens, by the way.
So we go.
So,
did we tell the tale?
did we tell the tales of everything
Nope.
that we'd like to see? Nope. So yeah, a lot of great ideas. So end up now. So thank you for listening in, fellow nerds. I hope you enjoyed today and talking about different games we would like to see, games that has been out and our opinions on it. Sorry for the spoilers, but we can't help it. We're nerds.
It's only spoilers when you haven't seen it yet.
Yeah. So myself, Curtis, we have,
I'm a Lewis.
and we have,
I'm on Alex.
and new player.
Yeah.
I'm Dave.
And Mer. Thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you next podcast. Until
Yay.
then, stay nerdy.
Woo! Podcast.